Welcome to 30 at 6 on Cecil TV. Today is Monday, September 10th. I'm Allison Donnelly.
And I'm Rob Churnside, and that's one day before September 11th.
Yep, so make sure you check out all the commemorations and various memorials on tomorrow.
Yes. Hard to believe. How about that hurricane coming up?
I know, that Hurricane Florence is on her way, and Maryland is thankfully not yet in the path, but definitely we could be impacted by very strong winds and rain, so people should be prepared anyway.
And make sure you stock up on plenty of water.
Right. Water, flashlight, batteries.
Transistor radio.
Right, and you said you were at Home Depot today and people were buying...
They bought all the generators in Home Depot that weren't inverters, whatever they are, so I decided to wait and hope for the best. Candles, flashlights.
It's a great idea to check out knowyourzone.com. It's a website the Maryland Department of Emergency Planning has set up so that you know where you are in the path of a hurricane.
What's that called again?
Know Your Zone.
Knowyourzone.com. I hope we're not in the zone. Or the cone.
Well, right. We'll see. And now for the news. A brother and sister, Brandon and Brianna Howe, were killed in a fatal car crash this past Friday at the intersection of Delaware Avenue and Pulaski Highway in Elkton. The preliminary investigation revealed a silver 2011 Honda Civic entered the intersection to make a left turn from southbound Delaware Avenue to eastbound Pulaski Highway with a green light. At the same time, a gray 2017 Dodge Ram pickup truck was traveling westbound on Pulaski Highway when it entered the intersection through a red light and struck the driver's side of the Honda. And tonight, all eyes are on Hurricane Florence as it churns westward toward the East Coast with an expected Thursday landfall in the Carolinas. With sustained winds of 115 miles per hour, Florence is considered a major hurricane that will bring life-threatening wind and storm surges to the Carolinas and Virginia and exceptionally heavy rainfall, which may extend inward for hundreds of miles. With this rainfall event, be aware that there may be life-threatening freshwater flash flooding as forecasts and conditions may change. Remember to monitor weather reports and always heed the advice of local officials. And this just in. Governor Larry Hogan has issued a state of emergency ahead of Hurricane Florence's arrival later this week. Cecil County Public Schools' Stacy Lamb was named one of 7 finalists for the 2018-2019 Maryland Teacher of the Year Award. The Maryland Teacher of the Year will be announced during a gala reception on Friday, October 12th. Stacy teaches 9th grade language arts at Elkton High School. She is also the freshman class advisor and coordinates the Elkton High House System, an initiative designed to promote student leadership, positive behavior, and school culture. And now for a word from our sponsors.
I'm home! Wow, it's hot in here.
Grandma says call the Moon Man.
Moon Man, the AC is out and my family is melted!
At your service! There you go! Mission accomplished!
Thanks, Moon Man!
The house is nice and cool again. Moon Man, you're awesome. You're welcome! Just go to moonair8.com. For out of this world service, moonair8.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Charles. For 30 years, I have been practicing functional medicine and gentle chiropractic. Elkton Chiropractic Neurology is dedicated to enhancing whole-body rejuvenation, whether or not you are afflicted with injury or disease. We utilize a structural, neurologic, metabolic, nutritional, and energetic approach to restoring your body to its full potential.
After coming to Dr. Charles, I'm better than I was before.
You deserve to feel good and to have an active lifestyle, so why not call Elkton Chiropractic Neurology today?
Welcome back to 30 at 6. In November, voters in Maryland's 1st Congressional District will have 3 choices on the ballot for their representation in the House of Representatives. Republican incumbent Andy Harris, Democrat Jesse Colvin, and Libertarian Jennica Martin. Jennica is here with us in the studio. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So first, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've always been an advocate for others. I have spent my adult life working towards the betterment, helping others in the betterment of their lives. I currently hold a master's degree in public policy. I've worked in DC for aging issues with a nonprofit lobbyist group. I've worked with the Catholic Charities Department for Persons with Disabilities to help their disabled populations, and I'm currently working on my PhD in public policy. I have a strong academic background. I have a passion when it comes to helping others, and I do have experience at the legislative level in DC.
So what compelled you to run for office?
I am angry.
Tell me about that.
But it's beyond that. I've seen a significant transition in the way that our government is currently being run. First of all, the two-party system, it needs to come to an end. Voters have a choice, and they need to know that that choice is out there. And to run, I've always wanted to help others, and God placed this task in my hands, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. And I'm going to be that voice to help them understand that there are others that want to help them that aren't part of that two-party system.
So, if elected, and in general, what are your policy priorities?
I have 3. The first is health care. Andrew Harris promised in 2016 when he ran that he was going to dismantle and repeal the Affordable Care Act. He lied to us because the Affordable Care Act is still alive and well. Yes, they got rid of the individual mandate, but there are still policies within that particular piece of legislation that still incorporate community pricing, which is keeping costs for health care insurance high. The second is the opioid epidemic. It is not the taxpayers' jobs. They are the victims. It is the responsibility of the producers, which are the pharmaceutical companies, to come in and handle the situations and circumstances of their product. And then the third is federal spending. We need to eliminate non-essential departments in the government. We need to cut our military spending that's excess, help our veterans that are on the streets. I've spoken with homeless veterans, and they feel that nobody cares about them. Turn the VHA over to them. Let them run their health administration's processes. Let them choose who's going to give them the health care that they need and deserve. They shouldn't wait 6 months for medication.
On your website and in general, you talk about deregulation and the free market as a solution to public problems. What are some social problems that you think the free market is the best response to that currently the government is intervening in?
Welfare reform. I am against something that I consider a way for individuals to not rise above the impoverished conditions that they're in. And I think by eliminating the regulations within the free market system, you can incorporate a greater access to jobs and greater access to opportunities for those that have struggled throughout their lives, and they rely on a dependency program that doesn't help them. It just keeps them staying dependent.
Can we go back to the opioid epidemic for a second? So 2017 was a record year for opioid-related deaths here in Maryland. And many people believe that it's the pharmaceutical companies that got us into this mess by marketing opioids and painkillers to people who really needed them at the time. Why should we trust the pharmaceutical companies to come in and fix the problem?
I think we should, because first of all, if you're a manufacturer of a product and that product malfunctions and it doesn't work the way that you claim that it should work, you're held liable. Then you face civil responsibilities, lawsuits, whatever the case may be. Individuals should have that option. My mother has been on opioid medication for 20 years due to a car accident that was no fault of her own. She's had numerous surgeries, and I'm watching her body deteriorate from the inside out. That is something that someone needs to be held responsible for that, because you have patients that were unaware when they started on these drugs, and if she stops, she can go into cardiac arrest. It's not something where she can just, okay, one day I'm not going to take the medication that's prescribed to me. But when she started taking it 20 years ago, there was no education provided to her on what the side effects would be. Hold the pharmaceutical companies liable for it. Listen, you've done this to me. You need to pay for the damages that you've caused. It's not about hoping that they'll become responsible. It's citizens making them responsible for their actions.
Switching gears a little bit, your background includes quite a bit of advocacy work for organizations such as Catholic Charities who rely heavily on government funding. Would you favor continued support for social safety net programs that provide the funding for the services that those organizations provide?
Well, here's the thing. Every issue in the United States, there is a nonprofit organization to address it. There are individuals that donate. A concept is eliminate the high taxation on individuals so they can take that surplus income, because individuals donate. I donate, other citizens donate. They will donate more to these organizations, and they will incorporate more funding into these organizations. Government is not the one and only answer. And I think that's something that even the nonprofits and American citizens need to know, that you don't have to rely on the U.S. government for the things that you need. We can do it on our own. We just need to get rid of the restrictions and regulations that are put in place that don't enable us to do it.
You have two challengers in the November election. Why should voters choose you?
Andrew Harris has been our representative for 3 terms. And government's getting worse. So I don't believe that Andrew Harris has proven to be the representative that can actually implement the change that many of Eastern Shore residents desire. And then on the other end, you have Colvin, who a lot of the policies that I speak of, he opposes. For example, he believes that taxpayers should be, or taxpayer dollars should be going towards, combating the opioid epidemic. No, it shouldn't. So if individuals believe that what the incumbent and what the Democratic candidate are advocating for are not what they want, and they do agree that there needs to be a change in government and someone that's going to fight to ensure that their rights are not infringed upon when it comes to the freedom to make choices in their own lives based on their values, and who also believes that I don't play political games. I'm not into the bipartisan bureaucratic bickering that's going on. I will stand for what I speak and the principles that I advocate for.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And now for a musical announcement from a musician himself, Rick Waterhouse from St. Mary Ann's. Welcome.
Great to see you.
30 at 6. So you are the manager of the North Elk Coffee House.
Actually, co-managers. We have a fellow who started it a long time ago, worked with me. We worked together for several years, and then he moved to Florida. So then my wife and I took it over for a few years, and we were getting burned out from having to do everything. And then Doug Donnelly and Sandy and Mac Taylor, who are 2 fellow parishioners at St. Mary Ann's Church, where we hold the coffee house, stepped up and joined us. So it took some of the management work from us. So
Doug Donnelly, that name sounds familiar.
Yes.
Doug is our director here, of course, at Cecil TV. And so the North Elk Coffee House, I don't know why I can't say that, but a lot of people don't know of it as that name. They think it's the Northeast Coffee House or whatever.
Yes, we get a lot of other various names. The originator, Rob Northrup, who started it, the North Elk Parish is what St. Mary Ann's Church is part of in the Episcopal Diocese of Easton in Maryland, and he chose that for the name North Elk because of the North Elk Parish.
And it's right there on Main Street, right?
Yes, it's 315 South Main Street. We hold it in our parish center. And we're starting our 22nd season this weekend with Michael Jonathan, who's a really great stalwart of the folk community. We get a couple of kinds of performers. We get some people who are true folkies. We get some that are singer-songwriters, and we get some local bands that want to come and play. And we also get a variety of positions during careers. We get some people who have been doing this for a long time and they just want to get out and play, even though we can't pay them that much. They just want to get out and play in front of an audience, so they're willing to come. And we get people who are on their way up, who are just trying to get their name out there and get some notoriety and sell some CDs and that kind of thing. And Michael Jonathan's one of the ones who's been around for a long time. And I think he's got a really interesting story. He grew up as a neighbor of Pete Seeger, and he credits him as getting him involved with folk music. And he started playing banjo and guitar, and then moved with his family out to Kentucky. And when he got out there, he was interested in folk music enough that he would travel around the Appalachian Mountains and pick up the songs and the music of the people, which is really a great folk tradition in America, the Appalachian Mountains music. And then he established a radio program that he does, a syndicated weekly radio program, the Wood Songs Radio Hour, where he has folk musicians come on. And so he's really not only enjoying playing folk music, but he's trying to keep it alive in front of people in America today, which I think is
it's certainly
great.
going to be alive this Saturday at the Coffee House. And you introduce him, and you play a bit yourself too, right?
I do. When Rob was here, he was the lead guitarist and I was the rhythm guitarist, and so I'm not playing as much many openings as we did before. We used to do an opening each month.
Right.
But at that time I was writing songs, and but my main gig now is doing children's music. I do children's performances for libraries and schools, and so I write kids' music and kids' songs, and have a really great time, which kind of fits in with my background. I taught elementary school for 30 years in Newark, and you know, this, I always say the stuff I'm doing now with the kids' music is like teaching without having to do the report cards and the conferences, which is a big break for teachers.
That's the best of it. Well, let's get back to the Coffee House. It's every month, and this month is Michael Jonathan. $10 donation I'm seeing on this paper here requested.
Yes, we request a $10 donation. People can come in. If they can't pay that, then they come in. Rob was always very adamant about, if you're in the community and you want to come out and hear music and you can't afford it, just come in anyway. And so we make it a donation suggested for $10, and then we have food and drinks that we serve out of the kitchen that all the volunteers bake and bring refreshments, and people can make a donation of $1 and get those. And then we total up all that money over the course of the season. We do 8 shows each season, third Saturday of the month, from September to November and January to May. And then at the end of May, we total up what we've taken in and we make a donation to the Meeting Ground, which is the local homeless support organization.
Good cause.
And we've actually, most seasons, we're able to give them between $3,000 and $4,000, thanks to the generosity of the patrons who come to the Coffee House. So.
Well, it's a good cause and a good time, good music. What time does it start again this Saturday?
Doors open at 6:45 and the show will start at 7:30.
Well, just maybe Cecil TV will be there.
Well, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good talking to you, Rob.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Charles. For 30 years, I have been practicing functional medicine and gentle chiropractic. Elkton Chiropractic Neurology is dedicated to enhancing whole body rejuvenation, whether or not you are afflicted with injury or disease. We utilize a structural, neurologic, metabolic, nutritional, and energetic approach to restoring your body to its full potential.
After coming to Dr. Charles, I'm better than I was before.
You deserve to feel good and to have an active lifestyle, so why not call Elkton Chiropractic Neurology today?
I'm home! Wow, it's hot in here.
Grandma says call the Moon Man.
Moon Man, the AC is out and my family is melted.
At your service. There you go. Mission accomplished.
Thanks, Moon Man.
The house is nice and cool again. Moon Man, you're awesome. You're welcome. Just go to moonair8.com. For out of this world service, moonair8.com.
And now we're going to get a little sneak preview of Elkton's Fall Fest happening this Saturday, Lord willing and the creek don't rise too much, the 15th of September. James Shipley is here tonight in the studio. And who's your friend?
Oh, this is my best friend, Pops.
Pops. Welcome to 30 at 6. And James, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the show you're going to be doing at Fall Fest.
Well, the Fall Fest is going to be a ventriloquist act where I have been teamed up now with my best friend Pops here for a year and a half. He's great. He's awesome to work with.
Pops, do you enjoy doing the show?
Ah, yes, I enjoy it very much, thank you.
Well, good. Yeah, and you're so snappily attired. You both match.
Well, I actually look way better than he does, but that's just saying.
Are you going to take that from Pops?
Well, Pops does his fair share of picking on me, but I pick on him back whenever I find a good line for him.
So, James, tell me, how did you get into this ventriloquism puppet thing?
I was a kid, and I was in elementary school when a guy that came in was performing for our school was a ventriloquist. It amazed me, but at first it didn't strike my interest. For then, I was in a private school in Connecticut where I saw different acts on TV. And I was like, you know what? If they could do it, so could I. And for a while, I was practicing with a sock puppet.
Uh-huh.
Don't ever let anyone say ventriloquism is easy. It took a while to practice. It still takes a while to practice. But Pops and I are working together to make it happen, aren't we, Pops?
Oh, yeah, we're working together just great.
Pops, your hair is so well coiffed and everything. What happens if it rains at Fall Fest?
Well, that's what I got the beauticians for.
All right. Now, you also have another puppet too, right?
Yes. Well, Pops, would you like to tell him about the other puppet?
Oh, yeah. The other one is my son. His name is Kevin.
Okay. And what does he do? He sings?
Ah, yes. He sings a lot. You know, I'm kind of sick of it, but it's okay.
Well, that's a typical parental reaction. And is there a cousin or something involved?
Actually, there's not a cousin, but he is a best friend of Billy Bob. He's from the South. His name is Billy Bob.
Billy Bob. Where's he tonight? I thought you were going to bring him.
Well, Billy Bob wanted to come, but he decided that for some odd reason it's best to play in the open field with chickens.
Chickens? He's in the field with chickens.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are okay. Pops is okay, but Billy Bob's outstanding in the field, right?
Oh, yeah. He's one of the most popular ones we have in the field today.
Well, we're looking forward to Fall Fest and maybe some decent weather and having you do your show 9 o'clock, the North Street Stage, Saturday, September 15th at Elkton's Fall Fest, which started, ladies and gentlemen out there in TV land and in the world, 1997. It's a long-running festival, so let's hope we get it done, and make sure you come out to see Pops and James and Kevin and Billy Bob, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, James. And
thank you.
Thank you, Pops.
Ah, thank you very much for having me. Yeah.
Why should you advertise on Cecil.tv? Because it is a totally new and unique way to reach the thousands of viewers that watch our programming. Plus, you'll be helping us grow as we expand our coverage. We have exciting plans, and your business or organization can be part of it. You will find our packages and rates to be refreshingly affordable, and we'll work with you to create a fresh and dynamic ad that says and shows what your business is about. Ask us how to get your commercial produced for free, so contact us on our website, Cecil.tv, or send an email to info@Cecil.tv. Thank you.